I found a burner phone hidden in my teenage daughter's room. I was putting away laundry when it fell out from between her mattress and box spring. One of those cheap prepaid phones you buy at gas stations. No contacts saved. Just one number she'd been texting every single night for the past 3 months. I scrolled through the messages. Same time tomorrow. I'll be there. Don't tell anyone about this. My hands started shaking. I checked our phone bill that night after she went to bed. She'd been systematically deleting texts from her real phone. Entire conversations just gone. I found her Venmo, and she'd been pulling out $20 cash every week from her part-time job at the frozen yogurt place. Always on Thursdays. My stomach dropped. I thought about everything. Drugs, some dealer she was meeting, or worse, some older guy who told her to keep their relationship secret. Those predators always tell kids to get burner phones. I'd seen the Dateline episodes. I couldn't sleep. I kept going into her room and watching her sleep like she was 6 years old again. This was my daughter who used to make friendship bracelets for her entire class. Who cried when we accidentally drove over a squirrel. What had happened? I showed my husband the phone the next morning after she left for school. He wanted to confront her immediately, but I said no. If she's in trouble with someone dangerous, confronting her could make it worse. We needed to know what we were dealing with first. He agreed we'd follow her. Thursday night came. She said she was going to study at the library for her calculus test. She left at 6:30 like always. We waited 5 minutes, then got in my husband's car since she wouldn't recognize it. We followed her down Main Street past the library. She kept driving. My heart was pounding. She pulled into the parking lot of an old strip mall on the edge of town, the kind with half the stores boarded up. She parked near the back and checked her phone. Then she grabbed her backpack and walked toward a door between a closed nail salon and a tax preparation place that was only open during tax season. We watched her disappear inside. My husband wanted to go in immediately, but I said, let's give her 5 minutes, see if anyone else shows up. We sat there in silence. Every second felt like an hour. Finally, he said, that's it, we're going in. The door was unlocked. It led to a narrow staircase with flyers for bingo night and chair yoga classes on the walls. At the top, we could hear music, piano music, classical music. We looked at each other confused. I opened the door as quietly as possible. The room was full of folding chairs and at least 20 elderly people sitting in them. And there at the front of the room was our daughter sitting at this beautiful old grand piano. She was playing Chopin. Her eyes were closed and her fingers were moving across the keys like water. An elderly woman sitting near the door smiled at us and whispered that we were just in time for the concert. She said our daughter had been volunteering here since June, playing piano every Thursday night for the residents. Most of them couldn't afford to go to real concerts anymore. Some of them couldn't even leave the senior center. This was the highlight of their week. The woman pointed to an old man in the front row who was crying. She said he hadn't spoken since his wife died 2 years ago, but he comes to every single concert and sits in the same chair they used to share. We sat down and watched our daughter play for 45 minutes. Between songs, she'd talk to them, ask about their week, tell them stories about the composers. Some of the residents were humming along. One woman was conducting with her hands. After the concert ended, everyone crowded around her, hugging her, holding her hands, thanking her. An older black woman in a wheelchair gave her a Tupperware container and said she'd made her favorite cookies. That's when our daughter saw us standing in the back. Her face went completely white. On the drive home, she finally explained everything. She'd overheard me on the phone with my sister back in May. I'd been crying about how we couldn't afford her piano lessons anymore after I lost my job. She heard me say I felt like I was failing her, taking away the one thing she loved. So she stopped asking about lessons. She found this place online and started volunteering. The burner phone was from the activities director because she didn't want us finding out and feeling worse. The $20 every week was to help pay for sheet music since the center couldn't afford to buy new books. She'd been teaching herself advanced pieces using YouTube videos just so these people could have their Thursday night concerts.